Hello, 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 everyone. It's Dr. Tamar Beckford, and I am here to welcome you inside the EntreMD podcast show. Alrighty, here we have one of our stars, one of our EBS broskies. He is on here today, and he's going to tell us all about his wonderful business. Alrighty, I'm going to have him introduce himself, let us know the name of his business and where he is located. Go ahead, Ed. Tell him all about this wonderful business of yours.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Beckford. Well, my name is Dr. Ed Wing. I am an OBGYN physician, and my practice is Lifetime Women's Health and Wellness Centers in Suffolk, Virginia, which is in southeastern Virginia. Everybody knows Virginia Beach. We're about two cities west of Virginia Beach.
All
And
right.
yep.
Go ahead.
No, I was going to say our practice is a generalist practice, but we have a focus on the treatment of heavy bleeding and helping women find an effective treatment that will be life transforming once they are treated with that.
Love it. Love it. Love it. So life transforming, heavy bleeding, and there's a lot more that you're gonna be telling us. So don't
Oh,
worry, guys,
absolutely.
because he's gonna give us all the details. Alrighty. So, Dr. Ed, over the last 12 months, tell us what were some of your biggest tangible wins within this business? Because you've been in the game for a while. So, all right, let us know, how long have you been in the game, right?
So
Game of
we
entrepreneurship and biggest tangible wins.
we are a OBGYN practice, and we are finishing our 12th year,
Wow,
about to start our 13th year in January.
love
So
it.
we've been doing this for quite a little while,
Hmm.
and there were a lot of wins for this year.
Hmm.
Last year was a little bit rough, but this year was really good. I would say that a lot of the wins had to do with just the way that we do our practice.
Hmm.
Some of them were finding out new ways to do things and creating systems to support those new ways.
Hmm.
So, one of the things that was a major win was the incorporation of a platform that automatically bills patients for the money that they owe for the services that they've received when they have things like deductibles or co-insurance. Prior to that, it was just a very difficult process, all done by hand,
Hmm.
and now it's automated. And so as soon as it's recognized that the patient owes something, they
Hmm.
start receiving emails, they start receiving text messages, and they receive even paper statements of what they owe. And it's been a great thing. The patients are paying their bills much better than they used to because of that
Wow.
system. So that was just a great win for us, and just being able to institute that. It
Hmm.
was a good year with our billing person, just increasing our efficiency with getting those billings together and getting paid in a timely fashion. I'm sure people that have anything to do with billing know that timely fashion is a key word. It oftentimes gets very difficult waiting for the insurances to pay us. So we've been working on that, and it's been getting better and better as time goes along. One of the other things that I can talk about is not necessarily a business related thing, but it is business related because it was the way that the business was structured that allowed me to do it. And my father lives in Florida,
Hmm.
and he is getting up there in age. He's 85 years old. And
Hmm.
when he moved to Florida, it just was very difficult to catch up with him. And I'd gone quite a long while without seeing him. And I had made the decision that I was going to go down to Florida once a quarter and just spend some time with him. And this is the fourth quarter.
Hmm.
I am currently in Florida now at the EBS Vision Retreat. And
Hmm.
as soon as we finish here, we're going to get in the car and drive on up to see him. So it will be 3 consecutive quarters that I've been able to accomplish that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alrighty. You know, like how we say unpack it, we got to unpack a lot of
Sure.
this. So you were able to restructure your business within the last year and in
Mhm.
really making some decisions that were difficult because moving and doing all of these big moves, such as bringing in the automated billing, switching billers. Now, for those who are on the outside, saw what Ed went through and going all these. These were not easy decisions.
No,
And
we're
these
not.
decisions, not only were they not easy, but they required a lot of work. And but now it's seeing the benefit of that hard work. So you're getting the benefit of literally those tangible wins because you've probably been able to increase the revenue that's coming in the business. And then doing that hard work where you had that period where, I mean, it was rough, but it now afforded you on the other side some huge intangible wins, which is now you can get the time off every quarter as you
Mhm.
have scheduled to visit your parent, your dad in Florida. Now, keep in mind, those of you who listened when Dr. Edwin Wing introduced himself, he didn't say, I live in Florida.
That's
He,
right.
he
I
is
live in
in
Virginia.
Virginia. Absolutely. So now,
Yeah,
and he is an OBGYN. For those of you guys, remember those babies don't like to schedule their delivery time. They like to come out whenever they feel like it. So
that's
in
right.
addition to being an OBGYN in Virginia and having an aging parent in Florida, you have scheduled and worked through to be able work through the hard time to now be able to come and visit your dad every quarter. I'm like, those are huge tangible and intangible wins at the same time. Now, I have some more questions because that's how
Hmm.
I do. Ed knows me, so he knew I was going to pull all of this out. What
That's
would you
right.
say is the increase in profit from the revenue, I should say, percentage increase in revenue from last year to this year on based on those big and hard decisions that you made?
Hmm. I would say that it's at least a 25% increase, at
Wow.
least. And so, that has been a combination of a lot of things. One
Hmm.
is definitely, you know, getting that not telephone, billing system in place.
Hmm.
And the other thing is that we have been able to increase both the number of deliveries that we've done and also the number of surgical cases that I've been able to do in the OR. So
Wow.
all of that has caused an increase, and the OR cases are significant. I
Hmm.
would say, compared to last year this time, I have definitely doubled many of the major surgical cases that have been
Hmm.
done. And that's a whole series of things which finally paid off in the end.
Hmm.
It's the working of the heavy bleeding clinic
Hmm.
where many of those patients decide to have surgical treatments
Hmm.
for their heavy bleeding problem.
Hmm.
And we have just become very well known in the community. And, through word of mouth, a lot of cases of patients that have had the problem and
Hmm.
then go and tell their friends and family members, who have similar symptoms to come and see us. And that's been beneficial. Also, just referrals from the community when these referral bases learn that we provide this service.
Hmm.
So it's been good.
I love it. And based on this, we've talked about the tangible and the intangible. Now, with every up there are downs. And, there are always periods where things don't work out the way we want to. And in EBS, we call those lessons. So, what would you say are the biggest lessons that you have had or learned within those last 12 months that you can share with us?
Yeah, I think most of the lessons have been related to mindset.
Mm,
So, one of the examples that I can give that, was I recognized it in myself. I think every practice, every business for that matter, will have the loss of employees.
mhm,
Employees will move on for various reasons. And oftentimes, especially when you have a small business, when they move on, it leaves a big hole. And I remember in the past, whenever that would happen, is that there would just be a lot of fretting on my part, like, oh, what are we going to do? This person left, how are we going to hold it together? And I think over the years, I've kind of taken a different attitude and different approach to it, and realizing that it's a great place to make changes that may wind up being even better than what the person did for the practice. Can I
mm.
give an example?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So we had lost a front office person, and it was pretty rough because there was only two,
Mhm,
two of them that were there. So we were down 50% of the staff.
mhm,
And what we did was we changed the phone system to a voice over internet protocol system,
mhm.
and we hired a VA that would be a front desk person.
Wow.
And because of this new system, the VA can actually receive, and she's out of country. She's
Mhm.
in Philippines, and because of this new phone system, which winds up being so much better than the phone system that we've had for basically 12 years.
Okay.
maybe not 12, maybe more like 8 years, 7 years.
Mhm.
You know, because of this new phone system, she can answer the phone as if she was sitting in the office. It
Wow.
rings in the Philippines, and she can speak to the patients just as well as the employee that's sitting at the desk in the office.
So
So,
that's
it
efficiency,
yes.
patients are getting their calls answered, and
Mhm.
like, wow.
Yeah.
What other things are you noticing with this big change?
Well, the good thing is, it actually decreased
Hmm.
the the number of calls that needed to be fielded by the front desk.
Hmm.
And because of the ability to make a menu tree,
Hmm.
a lot of the questions, excuse me, that the patient had, like, what time are you all open till? What's the directions to the office?
Hmm.
I want to fill a prescription or refill on my prescription, and all of those are handled without the front desk person having to be involved.
Wow.
And it also just puts people on a line to be helped.
Hmm.
So, before it was like it would automatically ring the phone of the front desk person, and she would have like four calls come in at the same time,
Oh,
and she'd have
poor
to say,
thing.
okay, please hold, I'm on the other line, please hold, I'm on the other line, please hold. And the patients got frustrated with that, but now they're put on a line. We've all been on those types of things. Your call is important to us, please hold for the next available representative.
So you
And
said that you
yeah.
you you have the most common questions allocated to be answered. You're right. A lot of
Mm-hmm.
times, we'll call a doctor's office and it's like, are they open yet? What time do you close? So instead
Mm-hmm.
of a person having to allocate the time to answer that question
Mm-hmm.
35,000 times a day,
Yeah.
You
they
said.
can get it themselves.
Absolutely. Alrighty. So we've talked about like, the tangible, the intangible wins, and then the lesson, which has now
Mhm.
turned into a great win that's bringing into a great tangible win. So
Mhm.
now, well, let's talk about how has EBS helped you within these last 12 months to achieve some of those goals?
Yeah, you know, when I first started the practice, there was no EBS,
That's right.
and there really was no thing comparable to EBS. I've always said that entrepreneurship is very lonely.
Mhm.
And I didn't even really have very many people that I could bounce ideas off back in those days. So it was, very much trial and error,
Mhm.
in a lot of the things. Um, Joined EBS in 2023,
Mhm.
and just I guess two things. One is Dr. Una. She's a genius. Everybody says that about her.
Which
You
she
know,
really
she
is.
she is, and the way that she kind of gives her teachings about the best ways to run business medical businesses
Mhm.
is just so helpful. I mean, because she not only does like the the inner workings of how to do it, but also deals with the mindset things, and perhaps the mindset things are even more important than the actual how do you do something
Mhm.
things. And the reason is, it's like if your mind is straight,
Mhm.
it will just lead you to find the things that you need to do to accomplish, your goals. And she's very big also on goal setting and,
Mhm.
the mindset and also the things to do to achieve your goals, helping you to take massive action regarding, things to reach your goals.
Mhm.
And all of that is just amazing. But one of the other aspects, which is just as amazing, if not even more amazing, is the community that there is in EBS.
Mhm.
So there are doctors there that are of all different, specialties, all different points of time that they've been in business for, all different types of models of business, and it's a big family. That's really what it's like, and everybody is so willing to share their knowledge and expertise, with everybody in there, with whoever would come to them and ask. And sometimes it could just be a sentence or two, and it
Mhm.
could be something to set you off on a trajectory of success, that you would have never have come to on your own. So, it's just really beneficial that way. And like I said, we're at the Vision Retreat, and
Mhm.
that's there's two retreats, and actually Dr. Una started to do some other live events during the year too.
Mhm.
And just getting together, for a defined time, being away from the offices, or the businesses, and being able to focus on a particular topic or topics regarding business is just awesome. This is my second time coming to the Vision Retreat, and I probably will come back a third and a fourth time too.
Now, you've gotten the experience. We've seen you go through the hard times. We've seen you go through the great times, here. And there are people on the outside who they hear about EBS, they see these doctors who are doing these amazing things, and then they're wondering, like, what's going on inside that school? Should I join? I'm not really sure. I'm on the fence. What would you say to that doctor?
Well, if I were to see that you're on the fence, I'd push you over, because it's just, you really just need to, make the decision to join. And I think, like I was saying, the community is really important because you will find somebody
Mhm.
that has either done in in the past what you're about to do, or
Mhm.
somebody who's doing it currently, like
Mhm.
whatever it is that you want to do. And it's not only people that have private practices or medical offices that are participants. There's also coaches that are there. There are people that have products,
Mhm.
and the business information is applicable to all of those different things.
Absolutely.
So, I think that you will not find a place where you will get such a concentration of applicable, usable, action taking information,
Mhm.
on the outside. And it's just, to your benefit to join. It's scary, because you don't want to necessarily pay the tuition. You wonder if you're going to get a return on your investment. But I would say the great majority of people that come through the business school, they
Mhm.
they really get a return on their investment that's far exceeding the cost of the tuition. So I consider that a gentle push or a nudge to get you over the fence and to join us. I'll be looking for you.
Oh, I love it. I love it. So Ed says he'll be looking for you. He's giving you that gentle nudge or push and letting you know that, the environment within EBS, you have physicians who are building amazing businesses and in a lot of different industries. And so you have the private practices, you have speakers, you have coaches, you have those who have product based and even within the private practices, you still have a lot of different types. You have the direct primary care, you have the direct surgical specialties also, you'll have insurance-based models. So there are all these brilliant minds coming together and helping to solve problems. And sometimes the problems that you've had a roadblock for 1 year can get solved within 15 seconds when you're in this brilliant set of minds who are really doing a lot of amazing things together. So Ed says he'll see you there. I'll see you there too. So if you were looking for a gentle nudge, you've just received two gentle nudges
That's right.
from those of us inside the EntreMD Business School to letting you know that, hey, we're here to support because we are physicians that we are going to change this landscape of healthcare. And we're here building our dream life. And what else, Ed?
Dream business.
There we go. So thank you so much for listening to the Inside the EntreMD Business School podcast. I'm Dr. Tamara Beckford. We had the wonderful and awesome Dr. Ed Wing here, and we'll see you guys on the next episode. Bye-bye.